Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So I'll present you my 2016 BMW M3, and this is in the Yas Marina Blue Metallic. I mean, this paint color, you have to see it in person in order to really understand just how good this color looks. It is a loud color, it does attract a lot of attention, but that's kind of what I'm looking for. I was looking for this color, my number one, maybe the Austin Yellow color as my second pick, but was my favorite color. I found it at BMW San Francisco. It checked all the boxes, nearly all the boxes. It had almost everything I wanted in it. As you can see here, right away you can tell that you see the side camera, LED headlights, so you know it has the lighting package. Has the executive package, which includes the heads-up display. As I pointed out, the side of the camera has the top-down view camera, and the executive package gives you the heated front and rear seats as well as the heated steering wheel. Also have power folding mirrors and the driver assistance plus package. I have the park assist feature. So basically this car can park itself into a parallel spot. And I have it's a Silverstone full merino with the carbon fiber. So that means that it has carbon fiber trim. The full merino, there's extended and then there's full. The extended merino means there's leather that comes up on the doors, and the full means the whole door inside the door is covered with leather. The dashboard has leather with the contrast stitching. So definitely something that I was really happy to get. One thing I went back and forth on was the roof, because it does have carbon fiber roof, and that is kind of like you find some with it. Most of the M3s out there, people will just get it because the novelty of having the carbon fiber. 100 pounds less weight, you know, lower center of gravity. But for me, I mean, I'm gonna track the car obviously, but I'm not thinking too much of save the extra 100 pound of weight. But it is pretty cool. Say I got a carbon fiber top. A lot of carbon fiber pits in this car. I mean, like I said, the carbon fiber roof. It's got the carbon fiber interior trim. Under the hood, we'll go later. I'm gonna show you the carbon fiber interior strut bar. Also, this car has a carbon fiber drive shaft. So a lot of, you know, let's say lightweight rotational mass. So let's do a quick walk around and then we'll get inside and we'll do a test drive. First, you got the M exclusive mirrors, the integrated turn signal. You got the wider rear fender. You can see where it's drawback about this. It does pick up a few more rocks because it's sticking out a little bit more. But it just looks so aggressive when you see this thing. And it said its videos, pictures don't do this car justice of how it looks in person. 4-piston front, 2-piston rear. M brakes. These are not the carbon ceramics. Initially I thought I would want the carbon ceramics, so I found out how much they cost to replace a rotor. I think it was around $8,000 to do the front brake service in that car. All right, so comfort access. One thing I'm disappointed about, the key is very plain. Nothing special about it, nothing M on it, nothing, just a basic key fob. I added this little glove with the M colors because I wanted something I just wanted a little more exclusivity. And like I said, you know, even my M Sport X5 has a better looking key with the M colors on the actual key itself, and it's not even true M, it's just the M Sport. Touch this little ridge egger, the car locks, and unlock it, just grab it. And it's only on the 2 front doors. The rear doors do not have the touch sensors. Coming inside, you definitely can see the full merino Silverstone leather and it looks nice. And like I said, when I saw this car in person, I realized it was what I wanted. Just this combination is probably one of my favorite one. And you can say you got the leather coming all the way up on the dash, here on the doors. Now on the doors, with the full merino, it comes all the way up here on top also. And of the power sunshade here. So power sunshade in the rear glass, and then manual sunshade on the back doors. You can see the driver assistance buttons here. This is for lane this is for, I think this is blind spot, this is for collision, this is lane departure warning. But if you look at the pedals, you notice the brake pedal is small, and it looks like it's missing a pedal because this car is a DCT, which stands for dual clutch transmission, or what BMW calls it, the M double clutch transmission. So what they say what this car is essentially a manual that's automatically controlled, as opposed to an automatic transmission that you control manually. I'm a true diehard manual fan. Trust me, I love my manuals. Once I experienced the DCT in person, once I test drove myself, I couldn't believe how easy this car was. The drive, how fast it shifts. I mean, it fires off these shifts so quickly. It really just explodes with power. Going into the space here. Like I said, you got steering wheel. It is manual instead of being power. I'm sure it's to save weight, but you have your adjustments. Bolstered. You know, obviously holds you in. It's got leather, so you could slide around, but like I said, it's pretty heavily bolstered in here. Bit my head. All right, I was stepping over the camera and I bumped my head on the top. I'm sitting behind myself. If you follow the video, you'll know 5'8", and it's covering a bit more. Have, you know, heated seats, 12-volt outlet. Different. You can change your temperature of the air coming out. Sunshades, but you have the manual sunshades in here. And that's the rear power shade. Kick, and trunk opens up. It's not a power trunk, it's just a spring loaded release. Have a few suitcases here. 2 medium suitcases. All right, so max looks like 2 medium suitcases and 1 carry-on. It will close. And closes. So moving aside, and definitely you can see the full merino across, I mean even the dashboard, and goes across. It's got the carbon fiber trim like I mentioned before, and the glove box, everything's all trimmed leather. It really gives this M3 luxurious feel. Glove box is nicely damped. Kind of suede in here. It's padded. So I got heated front and rear seats. Obviously, there's rain sensing wipers. Automatic headlights. Headlights are fully automatic, which means that they're going to activate automatically when it's raining outside if your wipers are on auto, and they're obviously dusk and dawn. And it knows also when you're going into a tunnel, it's no delay. The lights come on immediately. Fully automatic climate control with the dual zone, and automatic recirculation, so if their car sniffs any harmful fumes coming in through the cabin, it'll automatically redistribute the air to recirculate until the air cleans up, and then it bring in fresh air again. So this is still traditional 3 Series, where they still do the central locking here in the middle. Going to the next thing here, got 2 cup holders. Got a little coin tray with the it's like a 12-volt cigarette outlet here. Have your true handbrake, because like I said, this is basically a manual car, so you're gonna get a regular handbrake, which needs to be on, because this car has no park mode, no park button. It's basically when you park it, it's just basically like leaving a manual transmission in first or in gear. So that you need to be sure you use the handbrake to park because the car can roll. Treats the car just like a manual transmission, and you can't go wrong. So inside here, have the smartphone connect, USB, and auxiliary port. That's all there is for storage. No really for storage in here. So all I keep in here is just a little hand sanitizer for those times I need it. So you have Bluetooth, hands-free, press start button, and everything kind of comes on just like it should. Have your M1, M2 buttons, and these buttons, you can configure your throttle response, your suspension, and your steering all individually. You have 3 different settings for each one. So this is a quick way to recall them as quick shortcuts. By hitting one, you can save your favorite settings in one and save your favorites in two. So I have my kind of like my medium settings in one, and then my most aggressive in M2. Going into the iDrive, I have my iDrive split. So half of it's weather, the other half I can have for, like I said, map. So you can split that up accordingly, or I can just say, you know what, I want one big full map by going into the settings and checking the split screen. Or I might just do a separate video on just these systems alone. Here's where I can configure my M2 button. So I have everything in Sport Plus, most aggressive setting, shifting. The shift logic is at 3, and my heads-up display goes to M view. And right now it just says my speed limit on the left, which is 40, and then right now my current mile per hour is 0. Pressing M2, I have to press it twice to confirm because traction control is now limited. And you can see how now I have a tachometer here, and it's a real tachometer that could be helpful for track. You got your home link up here, 3-button in the home link. Mirrors are auto dimming. All the side mirrors dim as well. So whatever this mirror dims, the side mirrors kind of follow. I have BMW Safety Connect, which is basically like OnStar. The car has Harman Kardon sound system, and this sound system is probably, it doesn't have the wattages like I've been used to with the Bang & Olufsen, but with the acoustics in this car, with being a smaller cabin, sounds really, really good. All right, so moving on to the backup camera. You can see it's a high resolution backup camera, has guidance lines and object detection. So as it detects an object, you're going to visually see it on the screen as well as you hear it as you approach something like with sonar. And by hitting the camera button again, or actually toggling on the wheel, I can actually hit the review camera and do a top-down 360-degree camera. And that should enable me to see actually my complete surroundings. So like I said, I want to make sure I'm in line with this parking spot or not. Now, for example, if I am ready to leave and I've already parked and I'm ready to pull out, I can't, and there's on a busy street or a busy parking lot, I can't see if it's safe for me to pull it out yet. I can actually enable 2 cameras located on the front bumper just by pressing this parking button here down in the console. And when I turn those cameras on, I am now able to see exactly what is around on either side. The blind spot monitor, they have actual light located on the housing itself. So if a car is in a blind spot, obviously you'll get a alert. And if you try to indicate a lane change with the car in that lane, then you'll get a series of flashes to kind of let you know it's not safe. Okay, reverse. rev the engine and just sport, I'm sorry, and the efficient setting, and then I'll go to Sport Plus. That way you guys hear the difference in the sound. And right away you'll see this power plant. This is the BMW S55 engine. This one produces 425 horsepower and 406 pound-feet of torque. Horsepower I think peaks at 5,500 RPM, and the torque peaks at just over 1,800 RPM. So you're getting 406 pound-feet of torque at just a little bit above idle. If you think about it, just below 2,000 RPM is where it peaks out in torque. Obviously, you see this carbon fiber strut tower bar that wraps around the front. Have your heat exchanger. 0 to 60 on this car can, I think the lowest I've seen achieved was been like 3.9 to 4 seconds flat. The power rating, I think that BMW is producing a little bit more than what they're publishing out there. Right now, I'm in what is called P mode, because the car, when you turn it off, it goes to P, which basically is park, but you're not actually parking. You still need the handbrake. It's basically putting the car in gear and leaving it in like first gear so it doesn't roll away. Treat this car like a manual, like I said. So click over once to drive, and I felt the brake. The car doesn't go anywhere. I need to give it a little gas, just like a manual, and the clutch will automatically engage. So give it a little bit of gas, and it drives away. And one of the first things I noticed when I drive this car is I hear every noise inside. This is not a car that's all sound deadening material. This is something that is built for track. I mean, they have the intentions of someone taking this car to the track. The quick shifting transmission, the suspension. I could hear the transmission whine. I could hear it clunk into gears. It's not quiet. It's not smooth. It's very raw for that mode, that purpose. So I can hear it just goes into gear and it jerks. But I like it. I can hear all the tires, and they pick up all the dirt, and I can hear it click inside of the wheel well. Like I said, compared to the Lexus, where the Lexus was more trying to do best of both worlds, where it was more luxurious and trying to make it fun for the track. I can see where this car is trying to accomplish just one thing and one thing only. Here. Rips and goes. The traction control intervene again. You almost have to drive it off, but then you worry about it, the tail just going crazy. It's really fun. I can't get the smile on my face.